Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on Not Gaming. Well, I'll be doing the review on the Vengeance class starship. Well, the Vengeance class starship has 5 forward weapons and 3 aft. It is a powerful ship because I use it myself a lot. So I sent it into a scout alert earlier and destroyed the entire Klingon fleet on my own. I did have 2 other people with me, but they weren't high enough level to do enough damage, so most of it was pretty much on my own anyway. The console slots, well, there's 2 science, so it's not really thingy unless you use and it's got about 5 engineer and about 4 tactical, but you can use a mix and match of each console type to try and get it into shield strength or whatever, depending on how you use it. Like mine makes a good tank, however the tank bit only actually works in PvE, player versus player. It doesn't, unfortunately. If I used the Constitution class it would work like that, but it's got nice little holes in the middle of the ship. Another 2 down here. Well, I actually quite like the ship myself actually. I have all 4 consoles attached to it. The broadside console I think is the actual one for this ship, but you have to be at just under a 90-degree angle to use it, or you can use it if there's 2 enemies either side and one in front, for instance. But it is a good ship to have. The reason I'm in by K7 is because it's the only place I could see it clear enough. If I tried to do it in sector space, you wouldn't see the ship. You would see parts of the nacelle where it lights up blue, but apart from that you would never see it. And if you're thinking why not just change the colour, well actually it looks more original like this, because if you think of the movies, that's the exact colour it actually was. Like I said, it's extremely strong. It is a ship worth getting. However, the actual turrets and the torpedoes is the same as the Constitution class, or Kelvin Constitution anyway. I was told earlier by a fleet mate that the actually weapons aren't that good for DPS if you want high-end DPS, but I don't know about that because I've never tried it or used it myself, but he said he has, and he prefers to have newer weapons on it than the original set. Well, the ship itself is got very slow turning at full impulse, or even half impulse for that matter, unless you're in sector space, then it's actually quite quickly, but apart from that it's extremely slow to turn. But if you add the right consoles it should speed it up a bit, but unlike the Constitution, you can turn quite quickly. However, I've got an ability from all the consoles which allow me to go fast around turning during battle anyway. But it causes you to eject the warp core and it blows up, that's why. But it doesn't actually eject your warp core, it just allows some effect that allows you to go faster with all engines and weapons and everything. Now to the bridge. Welcome back. We're on the bridge. Well, normally, I'm just thinking. Well, normally, when we went to the Constitution, you needed sunglasses just to look at the screen when you entered that bridge. Here, it's not so bad. There is some very bright lights, but nowhere near as bright as they were on the Enterprise Constitution class unless you look over here like this, then it kind of blinds you. Some parts of it you may need a torch just to see where you're going. If I go to the main part of the view screen, which is just here, if I look down you can see right through the central part as it would be on the outside. The bridge is only 1 floor, 1 deck, same as all the others of the Kelvin class. there is no ready room or meeting room. Bridge layout is very similar to the Constitution with all the console slots everywhere. You can use a temporal bridge officer here, and you can use an intel bridge officer. Unlike the Constitution, you won't have an intel bridge officer. You'll have another one taking its place, but it's still a specialist of some sort. Graphics in this bridge is actually quite amazing. I've been wanting this for a very long time. This bridge and this ship. It's very powerful. And but if I try and put this ship in comparison of the Sovereign class, let's say you'll need about 3 backwards, but about 3x4 by length by width sort of thing, because that's how big it is. Even a Sovereign class starship is probably about the size of the warp nacelle. Even the battle cruiser, the command battle cruiser, the one from the STO, not the engineer version, well, let's say that's about the size of the saucer section, and you're going to need about 2.5 one way and about 3 the other just to fit on this ship, because it's so big. I've never known such a big ship ever. I think the Romulans are slightly bigger on some of their ships, but this is the biggest Federation ship you'll ever get anyway. I'm not sure if you can still get this for the Klingon or Romulan, I'm not sure, but I know it's definitely under Federation due to the fact that it was a Federation ship in the movie. However, what would be nice to have seen on this ship, which I haven't seen, is the massive cannons that drop down, which in the movie you would have seen before Scotty deactivated them, otherwise it would have just teared the Enterprise apart. He saved the ship, thank God. Otherwise that'd be a big problem. Let's just sit back down. As you can see, the floor's nice and shiny again. The consoles have nice detail, especially on by the helm. And my Romulan is busy. Out of memory, I can't remember what each and every single one of these is, but this one is the bank. I remember this one. This one I think is to do with duty officers, and also here you can actually see the Vengeance from the outside. Well, mine isn't called the Vengeance, mine's just called the USS Navy. But the actual ship from the movies is the Vengeance. Over here we've got absolutely nothing. Any more over here? No. I thought there was some light consoles over here. No, there's one there, one there. I swear there's normally more than 2 consoles on a ship that light up. Ah, here's one. No, it's not a replicator. I don't even know what that is actually. Probably something to do with boffs or something, or duty officers, but we're not going to go into that much detail about it anyway. Extremely powerful, very big, super strong, and if it's built properly, most probably indestructible. Now let's go back to the outside. Okay, we're back. I'm going to see if I can put this ship by another one to actually compare the sizes of these things, especially this one. This has its own hangar bay, got 1 set of fighters you can equip, and depending on the fighter, with the ones that it comes with, the Kelvin class ones, they give you can have 6 out at a time, or just two rows of 3. If you went for another one, you could probably have 2 ships. I don't know, it just depends on the fighter types that you equipped. It can equip more than just the Kelvin ones, but the Kelvin ones is what it comes with, and I've not changed that, so I've just kept it. I'm using the Borg set on this anyway. You won't see it because it's only when I'm in battle, when my hull is low or whatever, then they kick in. But I want a ship to test my size against, and there isn't one. It's either that, or they just keep disappearing when they come in the system. Is that a ship down there? Yes, 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 yes. It's the... Is that a Constitution? No, it's not a Constitution. It's Looks more like the Excelsior or something along the lines of what that would look like. Till I get close enough. As you can see, that's probably about the size of half of my nacelle. And that's just that cruiser alone. And that's just a tier 2 cruiser. So we know, or 1 as well, because tier 1 would be very similar in size. This ship is, as you can see, quite slow at turning. However, it is bigger. It's a cruiser / escort. It's more of a cruiser escort because it's got 5 forward, 3 back, as I mentioned earlier. The Galaxy class starship is probably about the size of, just under the size of the saucer section of my ship here. Actually, we're about to compare that now, actually, because we've got a dreadnought and a, well, it's not quite a Galaxy class, but as you can see, even 2 Galaxy classes don't quite fill the entire length of my ship. If you put these 3 ships in a row, they might just about fit. That one, I don't know. That one definitely won't, because that's about 3/4 of the way along my warp nacelle. It's a nice ship. This is good for combat anyway, especially for player versus computer. It's very good. It's got a nice deflector, nice actual detail to actually match what the actual ship looked like in the movie. I like the lighting on these, so it's quite good how they've done the lighting. How the deflector, same as the actual model, because I've got the model here with me anyway, so, and that's from one of the movies anyway, so I can just compare them. So a nice little central bit, which I presume is the bridge there. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it, because you see this drop here, don't you, with this bit here. I was hoping for more floors, but so we can actually see the engineering and the shuttle bay that Mr. Scott had to walk through. But apart from that, it's a very good ship. I would highly recommend this and the Kelvin Constitution as well. They are both worth having. The consoles altogether do have good bonuses, well, if they're used properly. I would recommend this highly. I'm just thinking where the red dots are here, and here, and possibly these here are actually where the phase banks are on these. Because I thought they'd be spotted around a bit more, but they're not. Well, let's just say this is bigger than the Odyssey class as well, which originally was the biggest Starfleet vessel before this one came into the gameplay. The Constitution class, not as big, probably about the same size, maybe just a bit smaller. But I would recommend getting both ships, and also if you've got the energy credits or the Zen or the lot boxes or whatever, I would recommend getting the other 2 consoles to go with it as well, so you have the full set of 4 consoles. Even though a couple of the consoles may go with like the 0-point defense system and maybe the plasma leech or whatever it is called, I can't remember, but I think it's the plasma leech. But they are good to have, especially on this. It's like indestructible. I've been waiting so many days for this thing. It is such a good ship. It does have both of this and the Constitution are both tier 6. Got the mastery of level 5 mastery in total, as all tier 6 ships have. This has got 1 hangar bay. The Constitution doesn't, unfortunately, but or it does. It's just you can't actually use it. Where this one you can. Normally they come from the sides of the ship, but they're probes, more to do with probes on this ship than they are actually shuttles. But even if I actually, let's see if we can compare it with the station, see how big this one ring is in length against this ship. If it's bigger, I'm gonna be surprised. How one station. There you go. This Constitution class here is actually about the size of the saucer section, maybe a bit over into the warp nacelle, but we were going to try the length of this, weren't we, along here. I know we're a bit further up, so getting an accurate to be honest, it's safe to say that the actual space station's docking ring or whatever it is actually slightly bigger than this ship. This ship actually is more like this in the movies. It could just run a skeleton crew. So if you're talking about, you could even just have one officer running this thing and you could just wipe out half of the Klingon fleet, Romulan fleet, or whatever fleet. They could just annihilate the entire thing. Am I stopping? Yeah, we're stopped. But I would highly recommend getting these ships, getting both together, or not both together, but both all the consoles for it. You'll increase its power quite quickly. It's got nice warp out effects and warp in effects. Transwarp effects are the same as the Constitution, or the same as this Constitution anyway, no others. Because the others are just standard effect from what they used to do, or they updated if they've updated any of them. As you can see, they can be changed colour, because I've seen people with different colours. Same with the Constitution class, you can change the colour of the ship, but I just prefer to keep them as they are, to make them look like they were the official models, like you just bought one from Starfleet now or something. But yeah, it's just, I like them as they are when they first get them, instead of changing the colour of these. Because I think you can get these in like a lighter colour of some sort. I think I've seen somebody with a green version, but it's either that or it was a Constitution that was in green and red. But yeah, good ship, worth getting. This is 900 Lobi from the Lobi Crystal Store, or you're talking about 300 million energy credits from the the exchange, and the Constitution class. You can either get most probably between 3 and 6 to 700 million off the exchange, or if you're very lucky, you could get it off the lockbox. But a good tip for lockbox opening: as soon as a lockbox comes out, whatever lockbox it is, if you want a ship and you get the lock and you see a lockbox, it's just come out, but with up to about a week, get your ship then, because there's more chance of getting a ship within a small period of time then than what you would later on in over time when they die down, because then you could get them probably every 20 minutes, every 10 minutes or so, and now that people struggle to get them within about an hour, or you need about 100,000 keys just to get it now, whereas just then you only need about 20 or 10. So depending on the time that you open the boxes to get the ship will also depend on how quickly or how hard it is to obtain. So, well, that's it for the review of the Vengeance class. Can't wait to actually destroy an entire Klingon fleet again, so I did that one earlier, but it's worth getting anyway. Biggest Starfleet ship you'll ever find, unless they make another one, because I'm sure they will. But I recommend this one and the Constitution class. I'll get them both together, or not at the same time, or just make they're better together with all the consoles and everything. But like I said, worth getting. That's about it. It's just a very extremely good ship, especially in combat. Bar the minor slow turning, which you don't really expect much more from a cruiser of its size anyway.